From Reiki to Relativity. Imagine, just for a moment, that everything you've ever felt, feared, hoped for, or healed was connected by an invisible thread. Not imagination, not metaphor, a real field of energy and information humming beneath every breath you take. Now imagine that this same invisible field, the one ancient cultures called chi or prana, is the very same field physicists now explore through quantum mechanics, relativity, and the strange behavior of particles that seem to defy logic itself. What if the things you've always sensed intuitively were not fantasies, but physics waiting patiently to be understood? What if your emotions, your intentions, your deepest healing weren't just personal experiences, but interactions with the fabric of the universe? In the next few chapters, you're going to travel between worlds. The world of mystics, healers, and ancient masters, and the world of Einstein, wave equations, and quantum fields. Two worlds that appear different, but at their core speak the same language. Energy, awareness, connection. Many of us live in a constant storm, stress twisting our bodies into knots, thoughts racing without pause, emotions pulling us in 10 directions at once. We search for relief, sometimes in spirituality, sometimes in science, yet rarely in both. But what if healing isn't an either/or choice? What if true transformation happens only when the intuitive wisdom of ancient healing meets the clarity and precision of modern physics? Reiki tells us energy flows through the body like a river. Quantum physics tells us particles behave like waves, vibrations shaping the reality we perceive. Relativity tells us that time bends, stretches, and contracts, that experience is not fixed but fluid. Energy healing tells us the same. Your inner world shapes your outer world. As you listen to this audiobook, you'll discover why ancient healers understood energy long before science had the words for it, how modern physics, relativity, quantum mechanics, the observer effect, supports the idea that awareness changes reality.
Why?
Why intention matters. Why healing can happen across distance. And why you possess the ability to influence your own energy more powerfully than you've ever been taught. This is not a book about choosing belief over science or mysticism over logic. It's a book about integration, the space where equations meet intuition, where spirituality meets evidence, where healing becomes both art and physics. And by the time we reach the end, you may find your understanding of yourself, your energy, your consciousness, your place in the universe, is far bigger, more powerful, and more interconnected than you ever imagine. This is your doorway. This is your bridge. This is From Reiki to Relativity.
Why?
Let's begin. Part 1. Introduction. If you're listening to this, there's a reason. Maybe you've felt overwhelmed lately. Your shoulders tight, your mind restless, your energy scattered across too many responsibilities. Maybe you've been searching for peace, trying meditation, breath work, prayer, or therapy, yet sensing that something was still missing. Or maybe you've always felt that there is more to this world than what we can measure. A subtle intelligence woven through everything, but you've never had a framework that let you blend that intuition with the logical part of your min. This audiobook is an invitation to bridge those worlds. Because healing, real healing, is not just about fixing the body or calming the mind. It is about understanding the field of energy in which your body and mind even exist. Ancient cultures knew this field intimately. They mapped energy centers, studied breath as medicine, and used intention as a tool for transformation and alignment. For thousands of years, cultures across Asia, Africa, and the Americas spoke of a vital life force, chi, prana, ki, mana, a universal current flowing through all living things. Meanwhile, modern physics, only a century old, now describes a universe where particles blink in and out of existence. Observers influence outcomes simply by watching. Space and time bend. Everything is vibration. Everything is energy. Two worlds speaking two languages, yet describing the same reality.
Why?
Reiki practitioners describe energy blockages. Physicists describe wave interference. Meditators describe timelessness. Relativity describes time dilation. Healers speak of intention. Quantum mechanics speaks of the observer effect.
T.
Different words. Same principle.
S.
In this book, we will explore the astonishing intersections between ancient healing wisdom and modern scientific discovery.
Why?
You'll learn and how energy is defined in both spiritual systems and physics, the origins of Reiki, and why its principles mirror quantum ideas, how intention and consciousness influence physical reality, why distant healing may be possible through quantum non-locality, how time, space, and energy interact through relativity, why altered states of awareness shift your perception of time, how your consciousness, your focused awareness, is not merely passive but creative, and how understanding all of this can help you heal, grow, and reconnect with a deeper version of yours. LF. This is not a book about belief. It's a book about coherence. When ancient teachings and modern science begin to tell the same story, we must pay attention.
N.
The journey ahead will not ask you to abandon logic or replace science with spirituality. Instead, it will ask you to expand your perspective, to consider that the universe is far more mysterious, far more dynamic, and far more interconnected than we've been taught.
T.
Welcome to the bridge between worlds. Welcome to From Reiki to Relativity. Let the exploration begin.
N.
Part 2, The Foundations of Energy, Awareness, and Healing. A deep synthesis of chapters 1 to 3. 1. Energy and Awareness, the Universal Bridge.
G.
Energy is the first language of existence. Before atoms, before cells, before human thought, the universe expressed itself in vibration, movement, and flow. Ancient cultures knew this intuitively. Modern physics has begun to articulate it mathematical.
Why?
In the traditions of India, this fundamental essence is prana. In China, it is qi. In Japan, it is ki. Across cultures, across continents, the idea is the same. Life is not merely physical, it is energetic.
C.
Yet science also describes energy as something far from mystical. Physics defines energy as the capacity to do work. Measurable, trackable, conserved. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, only transformed. But beyond this clean definition, physics begins to speak in ways that unexpectedly echo ancient wisdom.
M.
Particles flicker in and out of existence, behave as waves until observed, and remain mysteriously connected across distance. In energy healing, practitioners speak of fields, flow, consciousness, and intention, all ideas that find a surprising reflection in quantum phenomenon.
A.
The gap between intuitive healing wisdom and scientific language is shrinking.
G.
2. Reiki, a modern path with ancient roots.
T.S.
Reiki, founded by Mikao Usui in early 20th century Japan, is a relatively new practice with very ancient principles. Usui sought to understand how great spiritual teachers healed. His search led him to meditations, scriptures, and eventually to a powerful experience on Mount Karama, where he perceived a direct understanding of healing through energy.
Why?
Reiki is built on the belief that a universal life force flows through all beings. This energy can be directed through intention. The body, mind, and spirit can return to balance. When this life force flows freely, healing is not imposed, it is facilitated. After Usui, Hoeo Takata brought Reiki to the West, organizing its teachings into levels, symbols, and attunements, structures that helped Reiki become accessible globally. Today, Reiki appears in hospitals, oncology wards, integrative health clinics, wellness centers, private practices, meditation retreats. People report reduced anxiety, pain relief, deep relaxation, emotional release, faster recovery, a sense of alignment. While these experiences often sound spiritual, they align with what physics describes as energy fields interacting and reorganizing. 3. Science meets healing toward a unified view. The scientific community has long approached energy healing with caution or skepticism, yet several fields have opened new doors. Psychoneuroimmunology shows the mind's direct influence on the body and immunity. Placebo research shows that belief and expectation can create measurable physiological change. Biofield research suggests a subtle electromagnetic field around the body may play a role in healing. Quantum physics introduces ideas like wave-particle duality, entanglement, the observer effect, all of which challenge the idea that the material world is fixed and mechanical. Energy healing operates on principles such as connection between consciousness and outcomes, non-local influence, intention as an active force, energy fields influencing biological systems. These are not contradictions to science. They are frontiers of science. Prominent researchers, such as Dr. William Bengston, have conducted controlled studies in which energy healing appeared to produce biological changes that could not be explained conventionally. While results vary and debates continue, one pattern is undeniable. People feel better. People heal.
People change.
Whether attributed to the healer, the client's mind, the connection between them, or a physical energy field, the effect is real. As science catches up, ancient healing practices reveal themselves, not as superstition, but as deeper understandings of a universe more subtle than we once realized. 4. Understanding energy healing beyond the surface. Energy healing is not merely about hands glowing over a body. It is about restoring the natural intelligence of the human system. Ancient traditions across cultures have expressed energy systems through chakras, centers of consciousness, meridians, pathways of life force, nadis, subtle energy channels, auras, energetic fields around the body. When energy becomes blocked or stagnant, symptoms arise: emotional heaviness, stress, physical tension, illness, mental fog, a lack of vitality. Healers work to clear blockages, restore flow, rebalance energy centers, support emotional release, reconnect the client to their own healing capacity. From a physics standpoint, this resembles the modulation of fields and resonance. Where healing traditions speak of low vibration, physics speaks of decoherence. Where healers speak of flow, physics describes wave modulation. Where spiritual language says intention, quantum mechanics speaks of observer influence. Different languages, one underlying reality. 5. Mechanisms of healing. Ancient insight meets modern science. Several mechanisms have been proposed to explain energy healing. A. The biofield hypothesis. The body emits measurable electromagnetic fields. Emotions, thoughts, and stress alter these fields. Practitioners interact with the field to restore coherence. B. Resonance and vibration. Everything vibrates: cells, organs, thoughts. Healing may occur when maladaptive vibrations are brought back into harmony. C. Neural and psychological shifts. Relaxation increases parasympathetic activity, reduces cortisol, enhances immune function, and allows the body to repair itself. D. Intention as information. Thoughts may act as information that influences energy patterns, similar to quantum information transfer. E. Placebo and belief. Belief is not fake healing. It's the brain's ability to trigger biochemical repair mechanisms. F. Quantum level interaction. Though still speculative, Some researchers believe consciousness interacts with quantum processes in the body's microstructures. What matters most is not which mechanism is correct. What matters is this. Healing happens. People transform. Energy shifts. The experience is real, even if the explanation remains partly mysterious. 6. Modern applications. Energy healing in today's world. Energy healing has moved from spiritual temples to medical institutions. Hospitals now use Reiki before and after surgery, during chemotherapy, in palliative care, for anxiety and pain management. Studies show improvements in pain reduction, stress and anxiety levels, mood and emotional well-being, recovery time, patient satisfaction. In holistic health settings, energy healing is used for trauma release, emotional balancing, chronic pain, insomnia, burnout, spiritual development. Skeptics argue results are placebo. Mechanisms are unclear. Science cannot yet measure subtle energy. Healers respond. The placebo effect is powerful and valid. Absence of measurement is not equal to absence of reality. Science evolves. Human experience is evidence too. The future likely lies in integration, not choosing between medicine and energy, but combining them. 7. The foundations of physics, from relativity to the quantum world. To understand how modern science supports ancient energy principles, we must revisit the two pillars of 20th century physics. A. Einstein's relativity
Showed that
time is not fixed, space is not rigid. Gravity is curvature of spacetime. Energy and mass are equivalent, E equals mc squared. The universe is not a machine. It is a flexible fabric. B. Quantum mechanics revealed that particles behave as waves. Reality exists in probability until observed. Observation affects outcome. Particles can become entangled. Distance does not limit connection. Suddenly, the universe looks much more like the kind of universe where intention, awareness, and energy fields might matter. Ancient healers described life as vibration, flow, and connection. Quantum physics agrees. 8. Energy, matter, and waves. Everything is vibration. Physics describes matter not as solid, but as condensed energy. Every atom is 99.9999% empty space, filled with fields, movement, and probability waves. Waves are central to everything. Sound waves, light waves, brain waves, electromagnetic waves, quantum wave functions. Energy healing, too, is about waves. Emotional frequencies, vibrational shifts, resonance, coherence, alignment. When healers raise vibration, they are engaging with the same principle that physics uses to describe the behavior of energy. 9. The observer effect, consciousness as a creative force. The double-slit experiment showed us that particles behave differently when observed. Observation changes reality. This is not philosophy. It is physics. This leads to profound questions. Does consciousness influence the physical world? Does intention alter energy outcomes? Are we participants in reality's unfolding, not mere witnesses? Energy healing answers yes. Quantum mechanics whispers the same possibility. When a healer focuses intention, their awareness becomes an active force, a patterning influence, a form of observation that shapes outcomes. This is one of the deepest overlaps between mysticism and physics. Part 2, Core Summary. Chapters 4 to 7, The Quantum Field, Distance Healing, Relativity, Consciousness, and the Healing Journey. 10. The Quantum Field, Energy as Information. At the heart of modern physics lies a concept so vast and counterintuitive that even scientists describe it with awe: the quantum field. It is not a field like a meadow or a region like outer space. It is the invisible foundation beneath everything. Every particle, every atom, every beam of light is simply a vibration or ripple in this universal field. Imagine the universe not as separate objects floating through space, but as waves moving through a cosmic ocean. Each wave represents information, patterns of energy that shape matter and experience. In this view, energy is not just force, it is information. This aligns beautifully with ancient healing traditions, which describe energy not only as movement, but as intelligent, responsive, and purposeful. Reiki, Qigong, Ayurveda, shamanic practices all propose that the life force carries instructions that influence the body's structure, the mind's clarity, and the spirit's alignment. Physics echoes this idea. The quantum field holds the information that determines how particles behave. Thus, healing becomes a process of updating the information that governs the body. When a healer sets an intention, when a client enters a state of deep receptivity, when energy flows freely, the information in one's field may reorganize itself toward balance, coherence, and health. Modern science and ancient wisdom meet again in the recognition that we are not solid entities, but dynamic patterns within a sea of informational energy. 11. Information transfer, intention as a real force. Quantum physics shows that information is not passive. It moves. It influences. It shapes outcomes. In energy healing, intention is the mechanism by which information is transmitted. A Reiki practitioner does not push energy with muscles. They guide the flow through intention, a focused state of awareness that may alter energetic patterns in the client. This mirrors the role of observation in quantum mechanics. Awareness influences the state of a system. Practitioners of energy healing often report sensing changes in temperature, feeling tingling or pressure, receiving impressions or intuitive guidance, noticing shifts in the client's emotional or energetic state. Clients frequently describe a warmth traveling through the body, emotional relief, memories resurfacing, a lightness or spaciousness, sudden clarity, deep, trance-like relaxation. These experiences reflect the dynamic interaction of information between healer, client, and field. In this model, intention equals information. Information equals energy. Energy equals transformation. Healing is not a mechanical process. It is an informational one. 12. Healing at a distance. The mystery of non-locality. One of the most fascinating claims in energy healing is that healing can occur across distance, without physical contact, sometimes without the client even being awake. To classical physics, this would seem impossible, but quantum physics introduced a phenomenon that shocked the scientific world. Quantum entanglement, instant connection beyond space. When two particles become entangled, they behave as a single system, even when separated by vast distances. Change one, and the other responds instantly. This suggests that at the deepest level, the universe is not divided. It is unified. Energy healing traditions have always operated from this assumption. Connection is not limited by physical space. Distance healing works through intention, focus, resonance, the unity of the energetic field, non-local information exchange. Clients often report feeling sensations during distant sessions, emotional release, reduced pain, sudden calm, accelerated healing. Some have no idea a session is happening, yet experience changes at the same moment. Skeptics attribute this to coincidence or placebo, but controlled studies, including those in your book, have found measurable differences. Whether explained through entanglement, biofield theory, or consciousness-based frameworks, distance healing challenges the limits of what we believe possible. But the evidence is clear. Healing is not bound by proximity. Connection is the nature of the universe. 13. Relativity, time, space, and the fluid nature of experience. Einstein's relativity reshaped our understanding of space and time. Time is not absolute. Space is not fixed. Gravity is curvature, not force. Energy and mass are interchangeable. These ideas have profound implications for healing, consciousness, and perception. Time is relative. In healing sessions, especially deep ones, clients often report, "I felt like I was gone for hours. I blinked, and the session was over. Time disappeared." This mirrors the phenomenon of time dilation, where time stretches or contracts, depending on one's state or environment. While energy healing does not physically warp space-time, it profoundly alters consciousness, and consciousness alters the perception of time. Space is flexible. If space is not fixed, then the idea of here and there is less rigid than we assume. In energy healing, space becomes a medium, a bridge, a field, a shared environment. Practitioners often feel connected to clients' energy fields, even when separated by continents. Relativity helps us understand that space is not a barrier. It is part of the fabric in which connection occurs. Energy conversion, transformation as a law of nature. E equals mc squared tells us everything is energy. Energy takes many forms. Transformation is continuous. Healing is a transformation process. Stress, calm. Tension, flow. Fear, clarity. Trauma, integration. The body is constantly converting energy. Electrical impulses in nerves. Chemical energy in cells. Thermal energy in tissues. Emotional energy in the psyche. Healers work with these transformations, guiding the system toward coherence and regulation. 14. The patient's experience of time, states of consciousness. One of the most universal, yet most mysterious aspects of healing sessions is the altered perception of time. Clients describe time stretching, time stopping, time disappearing, the dreamlike state, deep immersion, dissolution of past and future. This is not imagination, it is an altered state of awareness. During deep relaxation, the brain shifts into alpha waves, theta waves, sometimes even gamma waves. These states correlate with healing, creativity, memory integration, emotional release, intuitive insight, reduced sense of linear time. Einstein argued that time is not separate from mind. Healing sessions affirm this experientially. When consciousness shifts, time shifts with it. 15. Consciousness in physics, bridging mind and matter. Modern physics does not fully understand consciousness, but it increasingly acknowledges that consciousness matters. Physicists like Eugene Wigner, John von Neumann, Max Planck, David Bohm have all suggested that consciousness is fundamental, not produced by matter, but woven into the universe itself. Energy healing aligns with this idea. Intention influences outcomes. Awareness guides energy. Consciousness shapes healing. The mind participates in reality. The double-slit experiment shows that observation, awareness, determines whether a particle behaves as wave or particle. This is not metaphor. It is empirical fact. Energy healing works with consciousness as a dynamic force. A healer focuses intention. A client opens to receptivity. Their fields interact. The informational pattern changes. Healing occurs on physical, emotional, or energetic levels. Your book explains this beautifully. Healing is not a mechanical process. It is a relational one. Consciousness bridges the healer and the client, the mind and the body, information and energy, science and spirituality, observation and reality. To heal is to participate in the creative fabric of existence. 16. The healing journey, from cases to transformation. Chapter 7 in your book presents healing not as a technique,
but as a journey.
Clients often experience emotional breakthroughs, insights, somatic release, reconnection with inner truth, integration of trauma, renewed vitality, deep peace. Healing is rarely linear. It unfolds in layers. Physical tension softens. Emotional blockages loosen. Mental clarity emerges. Spiritual connection deepens. Life patterns shift. Case studies in your manuscript show beautifully that pain relief is common. Emotional release is transformative. Self-discovery is inevitable. The healing journey can be life-changing. Clients often feel something opened. I remembered who I am. I let go. I connected to something greater. These experiences reflect not only psychological processes, but energetic reorganization. Your book emphasizes that healing is not about fixing. It's about remembering, reconnecting, rebalancing, realigning with the deeper pattern already present in the human system. This is where science and spirituality beautifully meet. The body is intelligent. The mind is influential. The field is interconnected. Consciousness is participatory. Healing is natural. Chapters 8 to 10, Skepticism, Scientific Integration and the Future of Healing. 17. Skepticism and Acceptance, a Necessary Dialogue. Every field that challenges traditional boundaries faces resistance, scrutiny, and misunderstanding. Energy healing is no exception. Your book's Chapter 8 beautifully acknowledges that skepticism is not the enemy. It is part of the evolution of understanding. Skeptics raise valid questions. Where is the measurable mechanism? Are results placebo? Does intention actually affect biology? How do we test something so subjective? Can effects be replicated? Are practitioners properly trained? These questions matter. They refine the field. They push practitioners toward integrity, clarity, and skill. Yet much skepticism arises not from scientific inquiry, but from outdated assumptions. That only physical interventions can create physical effects. That consciousness is irrelevant. That healing requires biochemical mechanisms. That subjective experience is unreliable. That ancient practices are primitive. That if something cannot be measured, it must not exist. But both physics and medicine have already disproven these assumptions. Science no longer supports a material-only universe. We now know matter is energy. Observation influences outcomes. Placebo is measurable. Stress damages the body. Mind-body pathways are real. Emotional states alter immune function. The nervous system responds to intention. Consciousness cannot be reduced to neurons. Science is not in conflict with healing. It is catching up to it. Energy healing operates in the space where subjective experience and objective change intersect. This is the space of transformation. 18. Scientific validation. The evidence emerges. While energy healing is still young, in the world of scientific study, research has grown significantly. Your manuscript highlights studies that show 1. Pain reduction. Reiki and therapeutic touch consistently reduce pain in controlled trials. 2. Anxiety and stress relief. Many studies show lowered cortisol and improved parasympathetic activation. 3. Improved patient outcomes. Post-surgery recovery, cancer treatment support, palliative care outcomes all show positive impact. 4. Emotional regulation. Brainwave studies reveal movement into alpha and theta states correlated with healing and insight. 5. Physiological shifts. Heart rate variability improves. Immune markers stabilize. Sleep patterns reset. 6. Biofield studies. Some research indicates measurable electromagnetic shifts around the practitioner's hands or the client's body. 7. Energy healing versus placebo. Some studies find effects beyond what placebo can explain, though placebo itself is a healing force worth honoring. The essential point: energy healing produces real outcomes, measurable, repeatable, observable. The mechanisms may not yet be fully known, but the results are. As with early quantum mechanics, evidence arrives long before explanation. 19. The call for open-mindedness, moving beyond old paradigms. Your book extends a compassionate invitation. You don't need to believe blindly. You only need to be curious. Healing is not a belief system. It is an experience. And the experience speaks for itself. Many who enter the field as skeptics leave with personal breakthroughs, emotional release, transformative experiences, renewed well-being, a sense of clarity, a reconnection to themselves, a redefinition of what healing means. Open-mindedness does not mean acceptance without evidence. It means allowing evidence, even when it does not fit old frameworks. History shows that breakthroughs often begin as ideas dismissed by the mainstream. Germ theory, neuroscience, meditation research, the mind-body connection, energy medicine in acupuncture, the placebo effect, quantum physics itself. The future belongs to those willing to see differently. 20. Toward a new paradigm of healing, integration, not opposition. Your Chapter 9 offers a powerful vision, a world where healing is not divided into scientific versus spiritual, but integrated, complementary, and mutually reinforcing. This new paradigm holds 1. The body as an energetic system, not just biochemical, but vibrational, informational, relational. 2. The mind as an active participant, not passive observer, but co-creator of healing outcomes. 3. Consciousness as foundational, not a byproduct of the brain, but central to the organization of experience. 4. Practitioners as facilitators, not fixers, but guides who align, support, and awaken the client's own healing intelligence. 5. Science as evolving, not static truth, but a living inquiry into the nature of reality. 6. Healing as collaboration, between ancient wisdom and modern research, intuition and evidence, subjective experience and objective measurement. This paradigm shift is already happening. Hospitals integrating Reiki, doctors referring patients for energy therapy, medical schools teaching mind-body medicine, neuroscience validating meditation, epigenetics showing emotional experiences, influence genetic expression, quantum biology emerging as a serious field. The 21st century is becoming the century of integrated healing. 21. Developing holistic practices, the future healer. Your book invites practitioners to step into a deeper, more expansive role. The future healer must learn A. Intuition plus technique. Skill alone is not enough. Intuition alone is not enough. Great practitioners merge both. B. Ethics plus integrity. Healing requires humility, boundaries, consent, honesty, and clarity. C. Self-regulation. A healer's state influences the session. Grounding, meditation, and emotional clarity are essential tools. D. Scientific literacy. Practitioners benefit from understanding basic biology, physics, and neuroscience to communicate effectively and ethically. E. Respect for individual pathways. Each client heals at their own pace. Healing is not one size fits all. F. Collaboration with traditional medicine. The best outcomes arise when practitioners and medical professionals work in partnership. G. Lifelong learning. Healing is a journey, not a destination. The field is evolving, and healers must evolve with it. This chapter emphasizes something profound. Healers do not heal. Healers awaken healing. 22. Educating future practitioners, the bridge between worlds. Your book proposes a model for the next generation of healers. Foundational knowledge, energy anatomy, physics basics, mind-body science, consciousness theory. Direct experience. Students must feel energy, not just study it. Meditation and presence training. Consciousness is the tool of healing. Emotional intelligence. Healing requires empathy, self-awareness, and compassionate communication. Scientific openness. Understanding research, without being limited by old paradigms. Cross-disciplinary dialogue. Collaboration between healers, physicians, neuroscientists, and physicists.
Cultural respect.
Honoring the traditions from which energy practices originated. This integrated education creates practitioners who are grounded, ethical, informed, and intuitively attuned. Not mystics, not technicians, but complete healers. 23. The conclusion, a harmonious future. Your chapter 10 brings everything together into a powerful synthesis. We stand at a moment in history where spirituality and science are no longer enemies, but partners. The old world taught us the body is separate from the mind. Healing is a physical event. Consciousness is irrelevant. Science and spirituality must oppose each other. The new world reveals the body is energy. The mind shapes physiology. Intentionality influences outcomes. Consciousness may be fundamental. Science is expanding into mystery. Healing is multidimensional. This is the dawn of holistic physics, science that includes consciousness, and the dawn of scientific spirituality, spirituality grounded in experience and evidence. Your book's final message is powerful. Healing is who we are. Connection is our nature. Energy is the fabric of existence. The bridge between Reiki and relativity is not imaginary. It is the future. When we embrace both ancient wisdom and modern science, we step into a world where healing becomes accessible, suffering becomes transformable, awareness becomes powerful, humanity becomes connected, the universe becomes alive. Our place within it becomes meaningful. This is the vision your book offers. A world where we heal, not with force, but with understanding. Not with division, but with unity. Not with certainty, but with openness. A world where energy, consciousness, and scientific discovery form a single, harmonious symphony. A complete, elegant, listener-friendly recap of every chapter. The journey from Reiki to relativity is a journey across two worlds that many people believe cannot coexist. The world of ancient healing wisdom and the world of modern scientific understanding. Your book reveals that these worlds are not opposites, but reflections of the same universal truth, that energy, consciousness, and connection lie at the heart of all healing and all experience. We begin with the question of energy itself. Ancient cultures have long described a vital life force, chi, prana, ki, that flows through all living beings. It animates the body, shapes emotion, influences thought, and connects us to one another. Modern physics, while using different language, describes a similar reality. The universe is built not from solid matter, but from vibrating fields and dynamic waves. Energy, seen through science or spirituality, is movement, information, and potential. Reiki enters the story as a modern expression of this ancient understanding. Originating from Mikao Usui's profound awakening in Japan, Reiki teaches that healing energy can be channeled through intention, alignment, and compassionate awareness. In the hands of Usui and later Hoeo Takada, Reiki evolved into a structured system of practice where practitioners guide energy through touch or non-touch to support physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Science, once skeptical of such ideas, has begun to explore them with curiosity. Research in psychoneuroimmunology shows that thoughts and emotions influence immune function. Studies on the placebo effect reveal that belief changes biology. Neuroscience demonstrates that meditation reshapes the brain. Even physics, long considered the realm of strict materialism, now shows that the observer influences the observed, that particles can remain connected across space, and that reality exists in possibilities until shaped by consciousness. This brings us to one of the book's key insights. Healing is not solely a physical process. It is an energetic, informational, and conscious one. Energy healing practices, including Reiki, operate on principles that modern science is beginning to touch. Energy fields interact and influence biology. Intention acts as a form of information. A relaxation activates regenerative systems. Stress disrupts energy flow. Consciousness participates in physical outcomes. The book then turns to the foundations of physics. Einstein's theory of relativity reveals that time and space are fluid, not fixed. Time can stretch, slow down, or contract depending on one's motion and gravity. Space is intertwined with time to form spacetime, a flexible fabric shaped by mass and energy. This fluidity mirrors the subjective experiences of clients in healing sessions, who often report that time seems to disappear or expand when deep healing occurs. Quantum mechanics takes us deeper. The double-slit experiment shows that particles behave as waves until observed, meaning awareness itself influences physical behavior. Quantum entanglement demonstrates that two particles can remain instantly connected across immense distances. These principles echo what healers have always said, that connection transcends space and that awareness shapes reality. This theoretical foundation prepares us for one of the book's most fascinating chapters, the quantum field. In physics, the quantum field is the invisible foundation of existence, a vast ocean where particles are not things, but ripples of energy and information. Ancient traditions have always taught that energy is intelligent, responsive, and interconnected. The quantum field provides a scientific parallel. Energy holds information, and information shapes form. This leads into the concept of distance healing. Traditional systems like Reiki assert that healing can be sent across any distance through intention. Critics once dismissed this as fantasy, until quantum non-locality showed that connection is inherent in the universe. While science cannot yet fully explain distant healing, it acknowledges phenomena that make it plausible. The experiential reports, immediate sensations, emotional release, clarity, physical improvement, further affirm its impact. From here, the book bridges back to relativity and consciousness. The perception of time during healing sessions often shifts dramatically. Clients report timelessness or expanded awareness, states consistent with deep relaxation and altered brainwave patterns. Relativity reminds us that time is not universal, consciousness influences experience. Healing, therefore, is not merely repairing the body, it is transforming the lens through which we experience reality. Chapter 6 dives deeper into consciousness itself. Figures like Max Planck, Eugene Wigner, and David Bohm have suggested that consciousness is not secondary to matter, it may be primary. The observer effect, the collapse of the wave function, and quantum theory invite us to consider that consciousness and physical reality are intertwined. In healing work, intention, awareness, presence, and focus are not optional, they are the active ingredients. Chapter 7 presents the human side of healing, case studies, emotional breakthroughs, and personal transformation. Healing is rarely linear, it unfolds in layers. Clients often experience release, clarity, reconnection, and a sense of returning to themselves. These moments reflect not just psychological change, but energetic reorganization, shifts in the human field that ripple through mind, body, and spirit. Chapter 8 acknowledges skepticism, but not with hostility. Skepticism is natural, even healthy. But the book emphasizes that skepticism must evolve alongside evidence. Many objections stem from outdated assumptions that the body is purely mechanical or that consciousness is irrelevant. As science deepens, these assumptions fall away, revealing a more holistic understanding of reality. Chapter 9 looks toward the future of healing, a future where science and spirituality converge. The emerging paradigm recognizes the body as an energetic network, the mind as a creative force, consciousness as fundamental, healing as a relational process, practices as complementary, not competing. Hospitals incorporating Reiki, neuroscience validating meditation, and quantum biology exploring life's energetic foundations all signal this shift. Finally, Chapter 10 concludes with a powerful message. The future of healing is integration. The boundaries between ancient wisdom and scientific discovery are dissolving. Healing is not mysterious, it is natural. It is a return to alignment, coherence, and connection with the deeper patterns that shape existence. Your book affirms that we are energy, that we are awareness, and that we are connected. Reiki and relativity, spirituality and science, intuition and logic. These are not opposites, but complementary expressions of the same truth. And in that unity, we find the possibility of healing for ourselves, for others, and for the world. Warm, deep, inspirational, crafted for maximum listener attention and subscription. Take a slow breath in, and as you exhale, let the ideas of this journey settle softly within you. You have just traveled through worlds that most people never imagine can coexist. The world of ancient healing arts, and the world of modern physics, the world of intuition, touch, and energy, and the world of particles, fields, and equations. Yet now you know, these worlds don't compete. They complete one another. What you've just experienced is more than a summary of ideas. It is a shift in perspective, a widening of possibility, a reminder that your body, your mind, your consciousness, and the universe itself are far more interconnected than you've ever been taught. In the quiet moments between thoughts, in the pause between one breath and the next, you might begin to sense it, the subtle field you are made of, the energy that holds you, the intelligence that moves through you. Whether you came to this audiobook as a seeker, a skeptic, a healer, or simply someone longing for peace and clarity, remember this. You are not separate from the universe. You are an expression of it. The same laws that govern galaxies govern your heartbeat. The same field that shapes stars shapes your emotions, your thoughts, your energy. You are a ripple in the quantum sea, a spark within the cosmic field, a living bridge between the seen and the unseen. And healing, true healing, is not something that happens to you. It is something you awaken within yourself. As you carry these ideas back into your daily life, may you remember, your awareness has power. Your intention creates patterns. Your energy influences your body and your reality. And your presence, your conscious, gentle presence, is a healing force in its own right. This is not the end of your journey. It is a beginning, a doorway into deeper understanding, deeper alignment, and a deeper relationship with the truth of who you are. If this audiobook brought you clarity, peace, or inspiration, if it opened your mind, or softened your heart, if it helped you understand yourself just a little more deeply, I invite you to stay connected with us. Every week, the Still Mind Studios releases calming, science-backed, soul-nourishing audiobooks designed to support your growth, healing, and awakening. We blend wisdom with evidence, mysticism with neuroscience, energy with awareness, so you can expand your mind and soothe your spirit whenever you need it most. So before you go,
Take a moment now
to subscribe to the Still Mind Studios here on YouTube. When you subscribe, you don't just follow a channel. You join a community of seekers, healers, and deep thinkers who, just like you, are exploring a more conscious, peaceful, and meaningful way to live. Click subscribe, tap the notification bell, and let this be the first step in a long journey of learning, awakening, and remembering the power within you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And until our next audiobook, may your energy be steady, your awareness be clear, and your heart stay open to the beautiful mystery of existence.